Trail tyres have arguably the hardest job of any rubber in mountain biking. They need to be lightweight and fast enough to ride all day, but also provide mountains of grip and be tougher than an overdone steak. But what are the best tyres for your trail bike? These are our favourites based on years of testing them to their limits. If one tyre has proven itself as a truly burly all-rounder, it's Maxxis Assegai. It's a proper grip monster at all lean angles in many different conditions. The tread pattern was developed in collaboration with downhill legend Greg Minnaar, and the alternating 2x3 block arrangement down the centre is teamed with some serious cornering knobs. These feel extremely consistent when fitted up front, so you can really lean on the side knobs and tip it from side to side. It's a real confidence booster and makes the levels of grip easy to judge and trust. This contrasts with the brand's classic Minion DHR II, which can feel more vague if you don't properly lean into the side knobs. It's not just down to super soft compounds either, as even the hardest dual compound Assegais are tenacious grippers, even if they don't feel as invincible as the more expensive compound options. Which brings me to the plethora of choices you have within the range. Maxxis offers the Assegai in EXO, EXO Plus, Double Down and DH casings with Max Grip, Max Terror or the aforementioned dual compounds. Our all-round pick though, and the tyre we awarded 5 out of 5, is the EXO Plus Max Grip variant. The Assegai isn't perfect though, as even the lighter casing, harder compound versions are slow rolling, while the softest versions don't have the best wear life. It's also not the best in deepest mud or when run out back though, as it can clog and lacks braking traction. Run for most of the year up front in a soft compound with something a little harder wearing and faster rolling out back, like the next tyre in this list, and the Assegai is a tough act to beat. Here's a mountain bike myth buster for you. The R in Maxxis Minion DHR doesn't stand for rear as many believe. It actually stands for race. While many riders swear by the DHR for downhill racing, as the name implies, it's also great for trail bikes. Like the Assegai, it is available in a huge range of sizes, casing and compounds. Also like the Assegai, it's not the best in the sloppiest mud, but it does offer better braking traction in all conditions thanks to the wide paddle tread down the centre. The transition to the shoulder knobs is not quite as predictable as the Assegai, but if anything, overall grip levels are maybe even a touch higher. You just need to be a little braver to exploit them. That's the same whether you run this tyre front or rear. Yes, historically the DHR II has primarily been used as a rear tyre only, but more and more brands and riders are reaping the benefits of running it at both ends of the bike. The best option for the DHR II will depend on your definition of a trail bike and tyre, as while I love the lighter 2.4 EXO Max Terror on my own bike, others who ride harder than me prefer the more robust EXO Plus and double down casings teamed with the Max Grip compound. The DHR II is a versatile all-rounder which makes it a brilliant choice for your trail bike. While Schwalbe bills the Magic Mary as a downhill and enduro tyre, here at BikeRadar we think trail riders can also take advantage of the aggressive tread pattern too. It has strong shoulder knobs for cornering with an aggressive and open central pattern that helps it bite into the ground and clear mud. Not only that, but it's available in plenty of different casings and compounds to suit specific needs, such as lighter casings for trail riding. Here in the UK though, our test team think the Addict Soft Rubber and Super Trail Carcass provide the best balance of grip, support and weight. It's no surprise then that senior technical editor Alex Evans awarded that exact combo a perfect 5 out of 5 score when he reviewed it back in 2021. Despite the sticky soft compound and aggressive tread, the rounded carcass not only means it's more predictable than squarer profile tyres, but it also rolls respectably well, if not rapidly too. No matter what the trail surface, the Magic Mary performs strongly. The sticky compound glues to hard-packed terrain and those large knobs dig into softer and muddier ground well. Even over wet rocks and roots, they grip securely, meaning the only real downside is the relatively high price. Team this with a faster rolling tyre out back and you'll have a very capable set of trail rubber. Speaking of faster rolling, if you want one of the fastest but still tenaciously grippy trail tyres out there, then Schwalbe's Nobby Nic should be high on your list. Previous iterations of Schwalbe Stalwart have been rather love or hate, well actually just quite a lot of hate for most parts. The latest version though is much improved. It retains its predecessor's rampant rolling speed, but finally offers the grip it always felt its tread pattern should, but never quite had. Just like the Magic Mary, it's the Super Trail Addict Soft option that we'd give the nod to. The Super Trail casing isn't the most damped or supple, bouncing off trail features a little more than others that conform better to the ground. But the Addict Soft compound means it still effectively grips well on all surfaces. It performs well on hard-packed ground and equally provides enough bites to cut into loose dirt and mud, an area previous iterations struggled with. Even on slippery rocks and roots, it never really gets caught out and stays pretty planted. It's a much better option than the speed grip I have here, so take care when choosing your options. The carcass is rounded like the Magic Mary for predictability, but unlike its more aggressive sibling, the Nic's side knobs don't quite dig in as tenaciously, particularly up front. This means more aggressive riders would be best pairing this with a Magic Mary up front, but for less hardcore riders who want a fast rolling but grippy and predictable trail tyre that can run at either end of the bike for most of the year, the Schwalbe Nobby Nic is a great shout. Continental tyres, although incredibly popular with our road-based counterparts, probably aren't the first brand you'd think of when it comes to replacing the rubber on your mountain bike. When they launched their new series of tyres a few years back though, that all changed. Since then, Conti tyres have seen more than their fair share of World Cup downhill wins and podiums. So why are they now so much better and more popular? As with all tyres, it's all about balancing compromise, and the Kryptotals, the front version in particular, managed to do this really well. The soft black chili rubber compound coupled with the tall blocky tread offers enough bite on a wide variety of surfaces whether wet or dry, yet rolls at a decent pace considering the grip on offer. This means you can pilot them safely over a wet set of routes without both wheels snaking side to side wildly, but on faster sections of trail you don't feel like they're so soft that they're rolling through treacle. Not only that, while grip levels and braking traction are impressive just about everywhere, the Kryptotals seem to withstand abuse pretty well, and wear is less pronounced than other tyres. That means although the Kryptotal front with our favoured soft compound rubber and tough Enduro casing will set you back £72.95, in our experience they last well enough to justify that price tag. As well as the rubber wearing well, the Enduro casing does a decent job of warding off punctures. While it might not be the lightest at just over 1,200 grams, the heavily reinforced single-ply construction, which features Conti's Apex pinch puncture protection, does a good job of keeping air where it needs to be. All I'd really ask for is for more rubber and casing choice. I'd be stoked to see the soft compound teamed with the lighter trail casing, or the Enduro casing with the even harder wearing Endurance compound. Specialised tyres haven't always had the best reputation, but the latest generation is a massive step up. Not only do they offer excellent performance, but they're also exceptionally good value, at sometimes half the price of the competition. The Butcher is a mainstay in the brand's range, and since its latest redesign, has impressed time and again. It features the brand's new T-Series rubber compounds, of which the softest T9 is our choice. This might be labelled as the downhill compound of the range, but it's perfectly at home on a trail bike too. It offers good levels of grip in the dry, a lovely damped feeling thanks to the slow rebound of the rubber mix, and it rolls decently well as well. If you want more speed, you can always choose a slightly harder T7 compound, though you will give up a bit of grip. The Butcher comes in an array of casing options, though as the name suggests, we'd go with the middleweight grid trail option. This is similar to Maxxis XO Plus and Schwalbe's Super Trail. It's a great compromise between acceptable weight, good punch protection and casing stability. The tread is not dissimilar to the classic Minion DHR, and the squarer profile than other tyres on this list means you can really lean it over if you're brave enough. Where it literally comes unstuck is on wetter terrain, where it feels less sure-footed and confidence-inspiring than others here. It also packs more easily with mud, which it then struggles to clear. For drier trails though, the Butcher is a bargain all-rounder. The Purgatory is another tyre from Specialized that's seen its fair share of revisions over the years, but in my opinion, the latest is the best yet. It features a totally different tread pattern to its predecessor, being far more open in its design. Despite being less aggressive than the other tyres here, I've still found it to be a great trail riding all-rounder. No, it doesn't have the sheer belligerent grip and confidence of the Assegai, Magic Mary or even the DHR II. But what it does have is a wonderfully damped and controlled ride, particularly in this Grid T9 version. This allows the tyre to conform to the ground and offer up far more grip and confidence than the low height knobs would suggest. I've been running that T9 with a tougher, harder wearing Grid Trail T7 on the rear, and it's become my go-to setup for fast-paced trail riding. Even through an untypically wet and muddy UK spring, I found I could really rely and trust this tyre in all but the very deepest mud. Moving on to hard-packed trails, and it still performs exceptionally well. Rolling speed is excellent, and the casings have stood up well to all the abuse I've given them, which is more than can be said for other brands' efforts. Overall, the latest Purgatory has really impressed me. Those seeking all-out grip will be best served elsewhere, But if you're the kind of person whose trail riding is closer to traditional cross-country than enduro, then it should definitely be high on your tyre wish list. So what do you think? What is your favourite mountain bike tyre? Let us know in the comments, and if you want a bike to pair with those tyres, this is our favourite 2024 trail bike.